Imagine walking into a room where everyone once laughed at you, thinking they were about to humiliate you again. Only this time, you're the richest person there. That's exactly what happened when Marcus Greene walked into his high school reunion wearing old sneakers and a faded hoodie while sitting on a secret fortune of $100 million. If you've ever been underestimated, disrespected, or laughed at, this story is going to hit home. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around, because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll hear today. Marcus Greene was never the loud kid in school. He wasn't the star quarterback or the class clown. He was quiet, reserved, and in a world obsessed with being popular, that made him an easy target. "Hey, Marcus!" someone would yell across the cafeteria, smirking. "Did your mom dress you this morning?" He'd force a laugh, pretending it didn't sting, but inside, every word was a knife. High school was cruel, and people like Brooke, Tyler, and Chase were the sharpest blades in that cruelty. Brooke, the queen bee, perfect hair, perfect smile, and a personality as fake as her nails. Tyler, the self-proclaimed alpha, who thought humiliating others was a sport. And Chase, the wannabe entrepreneur always bragging about his next big thing, none of which ever worked. Marcus, he just wanted to survive. Books were his safe space, computers, his escape. While they were out partying, Marcus was at home coding, building little programs, dreaming of something more. But they never saw that. They only saw a target. By senior year, they'd given him a nickname, the Invisible Man, because apparently, being quiet meant you didn't matter. The night of graduation, Marcus stood alone, watching his classmates pose for selfies, laughing, hugging, making plans for the summer. No one noticed when he slipped away, but as he walked home under the streetlights, one thought burned in his mind. One day I'll matter, and they'll remember my name. Fast forward 5 years. Marcus is in his mid-20s now. The world, very different. He's not the shy kid anymore. He's built something huge, an app that exploded in popularity. Investors lined up, companies begged to buy it. He said no. Net worth, just over $100 million. But Marcus didn't flaunt it. He lived simply, drove an old car, wore clothes from discount racks. He didn't need validation, or so he thought. Then, the email came. Class of 2018, 5-year reunion. He stared at the screen, a mix of nostalgia and bitterness flooding back. The invite wasn't just a reminder of high school. It was a reminder of every time they laughed at him, every whisper, every joke. He almost deleted it. But then, curiosity won. He clicked accept. The reunion was held in a fancy hotel ballroom. Golden chandeliers, soft jazz playing in the background, people dressed to impress. And Marcus? He walked in wearing what he always wore. Faded jeans, a hoodie, and old sneakers. Why? Because this wasn't about showing off. This was about walking in as himself. Heads turned. Whispers started. Brooke spotted him first. She smirked, her designer heels clicking as she strutted over. "Well, well, well, if it isn't Marcus Greene," she said, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. "Wow, you really haven't changed, have you?" Before he could answer, Tyler swooped in. "Brooke, come on, he has changed. He's gotten worse." Tyler laughed, and the group joined in. Marcus smiled faintly, calm. Inside, though, his heart pounded. So this is how it's gonna be? The insults kept coming. Chase bragged about his tech startups. Tyler even dragged Marcus onto the stage, grabbing a mic. "Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Marcus Greene, the same old loser!" Tyler shouted. The crowd roared with laughter. Cameras flashed, phones recorded. Marcus stood there, silent, humiliation burning, but under that fire, steel. When the laughter died down, Marcus finally spoke, calm, controlled. "Are you done?" he asked softly. The room chuckled. "Come on, Marcus," Tyler smirked. "What are you gonna do? Tell us about your job at Starbucks?" Marcus tilted his head. "Actually, I own a company." That shut them up for a second. Brooke snorted. "Oh, really? Doing what? Fixing phones in your garage?" Marcus smiled. "Something like that." He reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone. A single tap, and the screen behind the stage lit up. It was his company logo, the app they all used. the app that changed the industry, the name that made headlines. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Tyler's jaw dropped. Chase's face went pale. "That's your company?" Brooke whispered. Marcus nodded slowly. "Yeah, that's mine." And then, the bombshell. Marcus scrolled through his phone and brought up a list of acquisitions. "See these? These are companies I've bought in the last 2 years." He looked straight at Chase. "Including that little startup you bragged about earlier?" Chase's mouth opened, closed, opened again. Nothing came out. Marcus turned to Tyler. "And you? Remember laughing about me not having a car? Funny thing, I own the dealership where you got yours financed." The room was dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Marcus stepped closer, his voice calm but razor sharp. 5 years ago, you called me invisible. Tonight, I own half the things you brag about." Tyler stammered something about just joking. Brooke tried to smile, but her face was stiff, her pride shattered. Marcus didn't gloat. He didn't scream. He just smiled, a quiet, satisfied smile, and walked off the stage. Inside, it wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about closure. The pain, the humiliation, the doubt, all gone. As he left the ballroom, one thought lingered. Sometimes, the best payback is letting success speak for you. Delivered as above. Dramatic silence, shocked faces, Marcus's calm reveal, everyone humbled. You know, life has a funny way of flipping the script. The people who laughed at you, they don't define you. What you do with your time, your grind, your passion, that's what matters. Marcus didn't need revenge, he needed success. And trust me, that speaks louder than any insult ever could. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell us in the comments, what is the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And if you love stories like this, hit that subscribe button for more jaw-dropping tales of karma and sweet payback.